So as many expected, the Carolina Panthers used the number 1 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft to select Alabama quarterback Bryce Young, making him the highest ever drafted Alabama player in the modern era. Now, Bryce Young was obviously amazing in college if you watched him at all, and really showed time after time how talented he actually is, and he definitely has that kind of calm and mature demeanor about him that you see in the huddle when you watch him. He did have a little flack about his height at being just 5 foot 10 inches tall, but honestly, I don't see it really becoming an issue for him at the next level. I mean, he was the Gatorade Player of the Year coming out of high school when he signed with Alabama, where he would shatter passing records, winning a Heisman Trophy and a national championship, as well as making all of those playoffs. A lot of scouts even said don't worry about his height. I mean, you can see it on the film. We saw what Drew Brees did even in the NFL for so many years, and he was also very short. Same thing with Russell Wilson. Yeah, Russell Wilson's coming off a bad year, but look at his history. He's been a great quarterback. For me, it will be just making sure that they're giving Young the proper coaching and surrounding him with weapons, and obviously a good offensive line that can keep him off the ground. He has scrambling ability, of course, and would break so many teams' spirits by scrambling for a first down on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 10. But I honestly think he's going to surprise some people when you see his passing game in the NFL. I don't know how good he's actually going to look in his first year, but he will almost definitely start immediately, and I see him having, a somewhat decent year for year one. They don't have a lot of talent in Carolina right now, but they did have a decent draft overall. Right after taking Bryce Young, they drafted Ole Miss wide receiver Jonathan Mingo in the 2nd round. He's a big physical wide receiver that has decent speed too, but it's clear the Panthers are already trying to give Bryce talent on offense to help him out. Jonathan Mingo didn't have crazy, world-shattering, breaking records at Ole Miss, but I do think he's going to be a great young option for Bryce Young. For Bryce, I think year one's really going to be more about learning the NFL speed, and they have a new coach in Frank Reich who I think will be a very good coach for Bryce. He has a lot of experience working with young quarterbacks, so I do think he's going to be a good mentor for Bryce Young to learn from in his first year. Now, will the Panthers make the playoffs year one? I really doubt it, but let's see what this team can do. I mean, having Bryce Young instantly makes him a team I want to watch because I want to see his growth throughout the year. So obviously the Panthers are going to be a much more enjoyable team to watch versus last year where, they had some close games, but they really weren't that good of a team, obviously, since they got the first pick. Now, they did sign a few decent pieces in free agency, but I imagine them having a rough year still and to build in the draft again next year. So my honest opinion, I don't know, they might finish 4-13. They added tight end Hayden Hurst, who's a decent tight end and has great experience, and they also added wide receiver DJ Chark, who's had some great moments in his career, more so a few years ago, but still he has talent. And of course, Adam Thielen, who had his star moments in his career at Minnesota, but of course he kind of lost that to their new number 1 receiver over there, understandably so. But Adam Thielen gives a solid veteran wide receiver presence to Bryce Young. He's definitely going to be a reliable 3rd down go-to receiver for him. So Bryce Young should have enough around him to at least be competitive. Again, it's not crazy wide receivers, crazy running backs, anything like that, but I think he'll have enough to at least learn the game, get some good plays, get some good film, and in year 2, we'll probably see more of that jump as the number 1 overall pick. But let me know in the comments what you think. Is he going to have a good year? Will he struggle in year 1? Did the Panthers even make the right decision here, or should they have drafted CJ Stroud instead? I'll have a video out on CJ Stroud as well and kind of his analysis, but I loved watching Bryce Young play in college. I mean, he made playing quarterback in college look so easy. He handled big game pressure so well and was one of the most quote-unquote calm and mature college quarterbacks I've seen in a very long time. It's kind of hard to explain, right? I mean, a lot of the players at Alabama, they're used to being in huge games and they have to deal with the pressure. That's why they've been so successful for so long, but Bryce Young just made it look so natural. I think he has all the talent to be a star quarterback in the league, but over the next few years, the Panthers really need to keep adding talent around him in order for him to really succeed. We've seen other teams with high draft pick quarterbacks fail and have quote-unquote bust quarterbacks because they're not really putting talent around them. The Panthers went through a lot the past few years with different quarterbacks and obviously not so much success. They tried former first-round high draft pick quarterbacks in Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, but obviously both of those kind of ended in a disaster as neither quarterback really saw much success and neither of them could really lead the locker room or the team in general. Now, of course, those quarterbacks didn't have a lot of talent to work with, but the point remains. Bryce Young Young gives the fan base a lot of hope, and the last time they took a top quarterback, yeah, Cam Newton. I think that worked out fairly well for them. I think him leading them to a Super Bowl appearance was pretty satisfying for the fans. But again, even Cam Newton in his MVP year, they didn't really have long-term success. And I think that's something Bryce Young can give them. They're starting quarterback for the next 12 to 14 years. Let's see if Bryce Young finally brings some stability to that quarterback position. Someone who has leadership, calmness, but also has the talent that can back all that up. They also brought in veteran quarterback Andy Dalton, so Bryce Young has a great experienced veteran to learn from as well. And as we all know, Dalton has been on different teams and he's been to the playoffs multiple times, so I think he's going to be a great addition to the team as a mentor for Bryce Young, and obviously he can start when and if needed. So Bryce Young really has someone good to learn from. Again, a quarterback who started for many, many years and been to the playoffs many times. Now, for the rest of their careers, there's definitely going to be a Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud debate, and if the Panthers took the right quarterback or not. That's something I'll probably make a video on at the end of next season. How did they stack up against each other? Who made the right call after 1 year? Only time will tell, but it's definitely going to be fun watching to see who turns out better, because I could really see it going either way. To me, watching them in college, you can never 100% gauge who's going to be good at the next level, but I could see both of them becoming superstar quarterbacks in the NFL. But we're going to see. I mean, they both have a great shot to succeed. But personally, if I had to put my money on it right now, I would say probably Bryce Young will have a better career. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think that they made the right decision at number 1, Bryce Young? Should they have gone with CJ Stroud, maybe Anthony Richardson, or something else? Carolina fans, I definitely want to know what you think. But again, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video and hit that like button and turn your notifications on as well. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.